You're listening to The Bird Bath. This week's episode is brought to you by Vet Value and the Vet Value Connect Marketplace, the world's first cloud-based marketplace for veterinary practice sales, offering the industry's lowest brokerage fee, superior process consistency, and transparency. If you're looking to sell your practice, or if you're a buyer looking for well-represented and streamlined processes, you should check out Vet Value Connect. The link is in the bio, or you can go to vetvalue.pet/vetvalue-connect-pre-order. Welcome back to the Bird Bath. Each week we scrape the surface of the news you need to know, so let's get into it. This week we are coming to you live from Washington, D.C., our nation's capital, at the AVMA convention. This was a wonderful week. This was a great few days here. I got in on Saturday. I got to spend the day Saturday, Sunday, and Monday checking out all of the wonderful things. And there's some really, really big and exciting news for everyone that either was here or didn't have the chance to come and check it out as well. Our top story this week is that there is new leadership at the AVMA. Every year, I always look forward to seeing who wins the election and also the transition of power from the previous president and the immediate past president to our new president. So Dr. Michael Bailey addressed the delegates on Sunday as he took the role of president. He was wonderful in being able to stand up there and speak to everyone and be able to give people some great insights. Dr. Bailey said, "We need to raise awareness about the indispensable role we play, ensuring our contributions are recognized and appreciated within society. In the upcoming year, I am dedicated to amplifying our voice, boosting our visibility, and strengthening our influence. I stand before you as the first person of African descent, the first African American to serve as the president of the American Veterinary Medical Association." This was wonderful. I remember last year when Dr. Bailey was the president-elect, and he talked about how important it was to have people of all backgrounds really step up and participate in the growth and the leadership that's needed within our industry. So congratulations to Dr. Bailey. Really looking forward to this year that you have in the hot seat and seeing what comes for the next year. And then you also have your year as immediate past president and many, many more things to come. Also this weekend at the conference, Dr. Jen Quammen was elected as the president-elect for next year. On Friday, the delegates got together and cast their vote, and Dr. Quammen came out on top here. She's not new to leadership. She's actually been working in a lot of leadership positions over the past few years and has a really cool background and history of trying to bring about real change and influence into the space. She was the vice president of the AVMA from 2022 to 2024. And she actually, this was the thing I loved, she started her career in the vet space as a credentialed veterinary technician. She was also the president of the Kentucky VMA, and she was a major part in the veterinary leadership experience. So Dr. Quammen has a really cool background. I think she's going to be bringing a lot of new, fresh ideas. So we've got a revolutionary new leader with Dr. Bailey and a fantastic incoming president with Dr. Quammen. So really excited to see them both bring things. Obviously, there's going to be hot button issues, and I'll be sure to bring those to you as they develop. Our next story is one that a lot of people have known about or been beating around the bush on, and it's SVP and MVP. Southern Vet Partners and Mission Vet Partners have gone from the soft launch to the hard launch of their new company, Mission Pet Health. That's right. There is a new name for one of the biggest players in animal health right now. Mission Pet Health is the new consolidator of Southern Veterinary Partners and Mission Veterinary Partners. They're two extremely large groups that have come together under the ownership along with Silver Lake Capital and Shore Capital. It's something that we've been talking about since they announced the merger late last year, but everyone's been wondering what's going to be the new name, where's it going? And it was really cool to be able to see them announce that right here at the conference. The CEO of the newly formed company, a newly named company, Dr. Jay Price, said, "We're excited to launch the next chapter of our combined company, Mission Pet Health, which represents our legacy and our future. SVP and MVP each built incredible reputations over the past decade. We want to honor that history while demonstrating our clear mission now as a united entity to become the best veterinary care company in the world. So congratulations. I know this is going to be a major effort to rebrand all of these practices and all of the marketing and everything around that, but really great to see this name coming together so people don't have to call it MVP, SVP, or whatever other crazy names we all came up with over the past few months. So congratulations to the team and looking forward to seeing where Mission Pet Health goes from here. Cubex had a fun announcement of Buddy, which is what they're calling the easy button for veterinary inventory management. This is one that really struck as pretty interesting to me. It's their new Internet of Things device, and I've always loved the Internet of Things. I think it's super cool where hardware and technology and connectivity and smart devices all come together. So this new device is what they're saying, unlike their software-only solutions or manual inventory counts, Buddy is a plug and play and installs in seconds. Once paired with cloud-connected smart hubs, it automatically tracks usage, updates stock levels, and alerts staff when it's time to restock. Interesting, it's like an e-ink tab or e-ink screen with a couple buttons for whether or not you took something out of inventory or added it back. And it allows people to do hands-on inventory tracking without Post-it notes or bottle shakes or anything like that. It reminded me, and in the demo video that they showed, it reminded me of if you were to add two little buttons on the side of those digital price tags that you see in the grocery store. Their vision is for every item of inventory that you have in the practice to have a little tag that says what's in that area. So all of your gloves will be behind this tag, and you'll be, as you take a pair, you're able to click a button and say, took it. And as you reach certain levels, it'll automatically generate that inventory report. It'll generate an invoice. It'll allow reordering to happen. And it's a really interesting thing. Now, I did see in the video that they're looking at a $2 per month per Buddy item. And if you were to put it on every single item, you could see yourself spending quite a few dollars on the overall thing. But it is something that's interesting because if you're tracking shrink or the misallocation of inventory, perhaps, of not just controlled substances, but of things like gloves and syringes and OTC type medications, this is a real way that perhaps you can find a closer and tighter inventory controls, as well as being able to reduce that overall strain that practices feel around that. The first thing that came to mind when I saw this was actually, if anyone remembers, the Amazon Dash buttons. In 2015, Amazon introduced the little labeled and branded buttons. You probably remember one for Tide or for toilet paper or something like that. Lets you just push a button, a physical button, and it reordered it directly to your home. They ran that product for a few years and eventually phased it out as they went to more voice tracking and voice command and Alexa-based systems. But it was interesting to see that a large company like Amazon looked at inventory management of your own toilet paper in a way that Cubex perhaps is trying to bring the Buddy to perhaps a little bit smarter with a screen and things like that to inventory management within the clinic. So looking forward to seeing that. It seems like a really cool idea. It's definitely something that I could see people that are in the Cubex ecosystem participating in it and seeing some growth from those. Finally, our last story is actually a combo story, and it's a fun one of why it's always important to check the news each and every day. A ton of news came out from the WAG group. Now, what I thought was going to be the big story from WAG this week was their sale of Furscription to MWI. Furscription is a really cool product with a great team, about 4 people, that was acquired by WAG in 2022. When they acquired it, it was Pharmacy. They went quiet for a while and pivoted and brought the company back out under WAG ownership as Furscription. And they've been trying to work on growing the e-scripting platform for the past few years as part of the WAG portfolio. Now, WAG did divest that and sell it to MWI. And under the terms of that agreement, they were sold for cash, which, hang with me, it's going to make more sense as well. And they bought the Furscription brand, all e-prescribing, and all related assets. And also the 4 WAG employees are joining MWI as part of their transaction. And I even saw on LinkedIn some of those folks already have updated their LinkedIn and are settling into their new homes at MWI. Now, this was a story I thought was going to be the beginning and the end of it, because maybe I wasn't reading the tea leaves quite as well as I should. But what else happened just as right before going to recording was that WAG announced recapitalization transaction with Retriever LLC. Now, that's a lot of really fancy words, but what it actually was a pre-packaged Chapter 11 bankruptcy that they filed in through the bankruptcy courts. So what this means is that WAG, which has been seen really, really difficult financial times over the past several years, honestly. They've been bouncing up and down. They've had some changes in what they've seen there, and they went public a few years through an SPAC and have seen their prices go up and down on the market. But what they did here was they pre-negotiated the terms of their bankruptcy with Retriever LLC. And so instead of filing bankruptcy, having all of the debtors come through and everything like that, they actually sat down with the company that's going to be their primary debtor, and they structured it so that all of their debt is going to be wiped out. Their current shareholders will have all of their equity eliminated, and Retriever will become the 100% owner of the company when it exits bankruptcy. Now, to do this, WAG's going to continue operating as a debtor in possession, which means that they're still running the company and keeping things going, because Retriever is putting in about $6.5 million with an additional $4 million available rate at the start here. And then when they exit bankruptcy, what they're estimating about 40 days, they're going to be investing another $18.3 million into the company. So the goal here is that basically they're taking the business off the public market via a pre-structured or a pre-packaged Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Retriever LLC is going to be taking the reins of the business and putting some capital in here to be able to pay off the debts and get things back up and running. So wishing all the best for the Furscription team with their new team at MWI, as well as everyone at WAG. I know everyone I've ever had the opportunity to work with there has always been really spectacular and really mission driven. And so I hope to see that this restructuring and this reorganization and some fresh, clean slate of capital is going to allow them to continue their mission of trying to bring really high quality pet care and pet services to people all over the country. So really looking forward to see where they go from here. And as always, you can stay up to date on everything by staying tuned and subscribing to the show. And for more on these and other stories, join us by subscribing to our Substack. There's a link in the bio. And don't miss out on any episodes by subscribing and rating the show. For the Bird Bath, I'm Ryan Leach. See you next week.